2 MSU students trapped in Cairo.
Snow and ice make a rough start for the new semester.
And the on-campus unveiling of New Jersey's new anti-bullying legislation. All next on Inside MSU.
Hello and welcome to Inside MSU. I'm Ian Elliott.
And I'm Keegan Kingener. A study abroad gone wrong? Well, for 2 MSU students who were left stranded in Cairo during Egypt's uprising, that's exactly what it was. Inside MSU's Tanja Reiki sat down with one of the students who finally made it back home.
When Adrienne Sherwin arrived in Egypt for study abroad this semester, she was expecting a wonderful, broadening experience. Instead, she got this.
We were on a trip in Old Cairo. We were looking at the mosques and the churches and everything. We're having a great time, and then they were like, "Okay, well, you guys have to go home early because we can't be on the streets, at past like 3 o'clock today." So we went back to the dorms, and we were like, "Oh, okay, there's just gonna be a peaceful protest today, and then after that, everything's, gonna be fine tomorrow. They're just protesting today." And then it happened the next day, and then it happened the next day. And then that Friday was the bad day where got kind of crazy and everything. And
Sherwin experienced a communication blocker while she was studying abroad in Cairo. About a mile away from the riots, Sherwin was unable to get in touch with her family back at home.
We woke up and nothing was working, so it was kind of stressful because I hadn't told my parents the night before that we wouldn't be able to talk to them, and we knew that they were watching it on the news. So it was kind of like, oh gosh, I hope they know that we're okay. We just can't get on the internet. We can't get on a phone or anything.
As the riots proceeded, so did the extreme conditions.
We could go out onto the roof, and from our roof we could hear the chanting in the streets, and we saw the smoke from everything burning. We could see the tear gas going off, and some people could feel it too if you stood up there long enough. So,
though Sherwin returned from Egypt, her love for the country hasn't died. She hopes to go back in the near future. For Inside MSU, I'm Tanja Reiki.
Montclair State teamed up with Senator Lautenberg's office to host the kickoff event for This Is My Campus Week, an awareness program that teaches students about the dangers of bullying. John Aronoff has the story.
Hundreds of students, faculty, and residents crowded the university's conference center, joining top education officials and lawmakers from Trenton and Washington for the unveiling of New Jersey's newest anti-cyberbullying bill. The highlight of the evening, a keynote address from Assistant Deputy Secretary for Education, Kevin Jennings.
75% of the school shooters that happened in the last decade were kids who have been bullied at school. A kid who gets bullied is going to hurt someone else or hurt themselves.
The state's new anti-bullying Bill of Rights is the country's toughest, making punishments harsher and schools responsible for taking action against bullying. No one was more an advocate for the bill than Stephen Goldstein, the CEO and founder of Garden State Equality.
But I'm telling you now, if you're a school and you're not complying with this law and kids are getting bullied in your school, you're going to have the 82,000 members of Garden State Equality knocking on your doorstep.
The bill's author, Assemblywoman Valerie Vanieri Huddle, was there for the forum and also to answer questions from the packed crowd.
New Jersey actually has a higher rate of bullying than other states and is no exception to national trends of absenteeism and suicide caused by bullying.
While Senator Lautenberg regretted that he was unable to attend due to last-minute votes in Washington, he sent his regards via video. For Inside MSU, I'm John Aronoff.
The United Greek Council recently hosted their first Meet the Greeks in 4 years. Multicultural and Latino fraternities and sororities put on an impressive show for their competitors and potential pledges. The night showcased stepping and strolling talent along with brief histories of the different groups. The night was packed full of energy and drew a full crowd, with Greeks coming together regardless of their organization for a night of fun, festivities, and Greek unity.
Montclair State is home to a diverse student population, but common ground they all share is the grounds of campus. Lately, some have found them to be rather slippery after a record-breaking snowfall this winter. Students returned to a campus of ice, slush, and canceled classes. Corey Boudreau has the story.
With all of the recent snow, students have had delayed openings, but some think the school didn't go far enough.
As of canceling classes, I think they should have also handled that a lot better. I think that we shouldn't have had class at all today, but We do, and I'm really mad.
Students also found how hard it can be to get to class with sidewalks that remained covered in snow and ice.
None of the parking lots are cleared off. There's the walkways, they're all completely still snowed over. There's no ice. The steps coming down from the village are completely iced over. I fell trying to get down here.
To stay safe while walking on the snow, leave plenty of time to get to class, and always step and stroll carefully. For Inside MSU, I'm Corey Boudreau.
Following last month's incident where 2 vehicles were stolen from Lot 46 during overnight hours and then recovered the next day, Inside MSU spoke with Montclair State Police, who made the following suggestions for parking safely at MSU. Drivers should ensure their doors are locked and alarms are engaged. Use extra precaution and park in well-lit areas. Check on your vehicle if it's left for days or weeks at a time. Invest in a security system if possible. And lastly, MSU PD asks all members of the Montclair community to report suspicious activity or persons immediately to ensure the best police response possible.
The Castor Theater brought an interesting and sometimes shocking performance to campus this semester, all the way from the Netherlands. Corey Boudreau has the story.
January brought another groundbreaking new show to Castor with Prometheus. The show centers on the title character, who is best known for stealing fire from the gods and bringing it down to Earth as a gift for man. The piece was created and directed by Jan Fard and incorporates text, song, and movement. The world premiere of the show wowed audiences for 2 full weekends of performances.
When I tried to take it too literally, I felt like I was thinking too much, so I liked it as a visual experience.
It was interesting. That's something I've never seen before.
In Belgium and in Europe, we're used to this kind of theater and this kind of stuff more than in America. Like it's still more cutting edge here than it is over there.
I saw it as a lot of questions and something I'm going to have to think about for a long time.
For Inside MSU, I'm Corey Boudreau.
Student government president Chris Kaczynski called a special meeting of his cabinet last week before giving his opening address to the legislature. The president used this opportunity to outline his goals for the semester and start planning some events for the upcoming weeks. On his list, Spring Week, Montclair Fest, Spring Bash, and the upcoming inaugural ball. President Kaczynski also promised new events to the university, ones that he hopes will become traditions in the years to come. He encourages anyone with questions or comments for the SGA to email him at csg.sga@gmail.com.
The George Segal Gallery hosted an art exhibition and sale with more than 150 works of contemporary art. The exhibition features photographers, painters, and sculptors from around the country. Prices for the works from $75,000 to $12,000, with proceeds going to support future exhibits at the Segal Gallery and the university's permanent collection. For more information, visit www.montclair.edu/arts/galleries.
It's now time to catch up on all the Red Hawk action with this week's Sports Report with Rob Dickerson. Rob?
Thanks, Keegan. MSU basketball heads to the NJAC Finals in the coming week, but before we talk about that, let's go to Elliot Marco for some Red Hawk action earlier this semester.
The Montclair men's basketball team went into Saturday's action riding a 3-game winning streak. The team looked pretty dominant throughout the first 3 quarters, but almost let the game slip away in the fourth. Luckily, Montclair was able to squeak by with the victory by a final score of 69-61. Senior Tom Bernard cashed in with 15 points, including some very important free throws that ensured the victory. Senior Rodney Freedney and A.J. Larkin each added 13 points as the Red Hawks improved to 16-4 on the season.
You guys had a solid performance through 3 quarters. In the 4th quarter, you almost let it get away. Could you talk us through that?
Well, I mean, we got a little sloppy with the basketball. We, kind of let them do a little too much on offense. But, I don't know, we buckled down the last 5 minutes. Played some good 3-point defense, made some foul shots when they counted, and came out to win.
Okay, now you being the senior leader on this team, what do you say to the youngsters that are trying to earn their role?
Just gotta work hard. I mean, take every game one at a time, practice well, just gotta work hard, man. Work hard, play like it's the last game you're ever gonna play. That's all I can say.
This win also brought head coach Ted Fear 1 victory shy of 200 wins in his Red Hawk career. The win was a big confidence booster for the club as they returned to action Friday, February 2nd to take on school rivals William Patterson.
Thanks, Elliot. Both of MSU's basketball teams are heading to the NJAC Finals after Wednesday night's two amazing victories. The men's team took on New Jersey City University in a rematch after their loss earlier in the week. The Hawks had to pull off an underdog win to make it to the finals, and they didn't disappoint. After briefly being down by a point in the first half, the Red Hawks took the lead and never gave it back. Forward Hunter August is my pick for the game MVP, putting 13 points up on the board and leading the Hawks to a 62-53 victory. The women's team was just as successful. The Lady Hawks came in needing to beat NJCU for the second time in a row and needing their rivals at Ramapo to lose in order to earn a spot in the tournament. Star forward Cassandra Ianbeku dominated the game, pulling off a double-double with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. The Hawks beat NJCU 77-53. Both teams will play in the first round of the NJAC tournament this Saturday against Richard Stockton. That's it for sports. Go Red Hawks, because we don't just play games, we win them. Now let's go to Kyle Falcon with This Week in Entertainment. Kyle?
Thanks, Rob. The Oscars are coming up on February 27th, and hosting it this year will be James Franco and Anne Hathaway, two of the youngest hosts in Oscars history. The nominees were announced on January 25th, and the list that stood out to me the most was for Best Picture. All the nominees are impressive, and certainly they can all be winners, but only one will win that long-awaited gold statuette. My favorite picks? The Social Network, Black Swan, and Inception. Let's check out some of the clips of the movies. Christopher Nolan has made yet another blockbuster. Nominated for 8 Oscars, Inception is number 1 on my list. Nolan, director of The Dark Knight and Memento, has made a movie that's appealing to the eyes as well as the mind. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Nolan directed this to make the viewers wonder what is a dream and what is reality. Nolan continues to create great movies and has received many awards for his work, but everyone is wondering, when will it be time for the Academy to nominate him for Best Director? I guess we'll just have to wait for the next blockbuster. Based on the book by Ben Mesrick called The Accidental Billionaires is the controversial movie The Social Network. When it comes to founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he actually is an accidental billionaire. Director David Fincher, who also directed Fight Club, takes you on this fast-paced ride with Jesse Eisenberg at the wheel playing Zuckerberg. Meanwhile, the real Zuckerberg says that the film is a work of pure fiction. He claims that there wasn't that much drama and that the film paints him unjustly in a bad light. The Social Network is nominated for 8 Oscars, but missing on that list is Best Supporting Actor for Andrew Garfield, who played the part of Edward Savarin, co-founder of Facebook. Eisenberg was the film's sole acting nominee. Black Swan's Mila Kunis was also bypassed for Best Supporting Actress. Kunis was universally praised for her role, but she was left with no love from the Academy, even though Kunis really proved to the viewers that she's more than just Jackie from That 70s Show. I guess it wasn't good enough for the Academy. Meanwhile, Natalie Portman was nominated for her role as Nina Sayers, making her the only acting nominee in the film. In order to win the role of her dreams, Portman's character has to get in touch with her dark side to embody the black swan as well as the white. It's a real psychological thriller, leaving the audience constantly guessing what's reality and what's in the dancer's head. Good luck to all the nominees. That's a wrap for this week's entertainment news. Tune in next week when we'll review the next set of nominees for Best Picture. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kyle. Feeling stressed? Montclair State University is now offering a workshop to promote relaxation and relieve tension. Weekly sessions will include stress-relieving activities like games, dancing, crafting, and even some yoga. For more information and to register for this health promotion course, visit the Drop-In Center located right here on campus any weekday between 11:30 and 12:30. Ian?
Thanks, Keegan. Campus is so close to Manhattan, but many students don't venture there very often. Inside MSU's Rob Dickerson found a great evening's entertainment in a New York City venue many college students might avoid, the Metropolitan Opera House.
Most students wouldn't call a Saturday night out at the opera a good time, but when I attended the premiere of Nixon in China at the Metropolitan Opera, I definitely changed my mind. The show was one of the opera's most anticipated productions of the season. Starring James Madalena and Janice Kelly as Richard and Pat Nixon and Robert Brubaker as Chairman Mao, the show was beautifully sung, and the visuals were some of the most impressive I've ever seen on stage. Every song and performance was astounding. I was lucky enough to attend on a night when the composer himself conducted the orchestra. Naturally, he got the biggest applause. Even for those who've never heard an opera, this is an exciting experience, and I recommend Nixon in China to any music fan. If you're looking for your first opera, this one is perfect, and easy to enjoy, as it's in English. But be sure to hurry to Lincoln Center if you want to see it. The production closes at the end of February. For Inside MSU, I'm Rob Dickerson.
Are you looking to broaden your horizons? The Global Education Center here at Montclair State offers study abroad programs in over 50 countries. While earning credits, students can spend anywhere from a couple of weeks to a full academic year abroad. Not only will you gain world experience, but future employers value students who study abroad. You'll also make friends and memories that will never be forgotten. Interested? You can visit the Global Education Center at 22 Normal Ave or log on to the Montclair State website, keyword Global Ed.
Well, that's all for this edition of Inside MSU. I'm Ian Elliott.
And I'm Keegan Kingeter. Thanks for watching.